How Kyle Richards feels about filming RHOBH with Kim. Kyle Richards confirmed that Kim is back on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 13. Earlier this week, the sisters had fans buzzing. Paparazzi caught them filming a scene for the new season. Many of the fan favorites are coming back, including Denise Richards and Camille Grammer. Kyle revealed what it was like to film the series with Kim again. Kyle Richards' fallout with Kathy Hilton. RHOBH Season 12 was difficult for Kyle Richards. She had a falling out with Kathy Hilton after filming the explosive reunion. Having Kim Richards return to the Bravo show seemed questionable. Kyle's relationship with Kathy is still rocky at best. However, Kim just wants to help her sisters out. She's hoping they will be able to reconcile their relationship one day. Kim spoke to Page 6 about her return to the show. She would love to see all three of them in the reality series and have fun together. I think this whole thing between the sisters was hard, Kim Richards told Page 6 at Sutton Strack's 4th anniversary of her Sutton Concept Boutique in West Hollywood. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to put it back together soon. There's no doubt there's been drama on the show. Fans wonder if it will continue to live up to the hype now that Lisa Rinna is gone. Kyle Richards attended that same event this past week. She admitted that it feels great to have Kim back on the show. Kim Richards returns to RHOBH. Kyle also spoke to Access Hollywood's Lauren Herbert on the red carpet. She shared more of her thoughts on Kim's return to the show. Her sister stood with her on the red carpet at the event. Kyle admitted that it just happened in the moment. It was something that happened spur of the moment for them. Kyle asked Kim if she wanted to attend an event with her. Kim repeatedly refused to appear on the show in the past. However, at that moment, she felt good enough about filming with her sister. She didn't want to make a big fuss out of her return either. It feels great. My sister, she knows we've all gone through a little bit of a hard time, and the families, some of you may know, Kyle Richards explained. But my sister always made a point to check on me and remind me that I'm the baby sister, and it's just there for me, and it feels good. It's unclear whether Kathy will film with them this season. What are your thoughts on Kyle Richards' reaction to filming with Kim? Are you looking forward to Kim's comeback? Sound off below in the comment section. There's a particular kind of tension that only exists between sisters, a delicate tether of love and history, knotted with childhood memories, jealousy, fierce loyalty, and moments no one else in the world could ever understand. For Kyle Richards, filming The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills with her sister Kim is like stepping into a familiar house where every room holds both laughter and landmines. From the outside, their relationship often looked like a reality TV producer's dream, combustible, unpredictable, heartfelt. But for Kyle, it was never about the ratings. It was about the woman sitting across from her on set. Kim, her older sister, her complicated counterpart, and the keeper of a shared past. When the cameras are rolling, Kyle once confessed in a quieter moment, you don't stop being sisters. You just become sisters under a microscope. And that microscope burns. Memory lane on a soundstage. The tension between Kyle and Kim didn't begin on Bravo. It began in backseats of long rides to auditions, in shared childhood bedrooms, in moments of competition for their mother's attention, and in the shadow of their young stardom. By the time they stepped onto the RHOBH stage together, they were already carrying decades of unsaid things. The cameras didn't create the drama, they just caught it. For Kyle, watching her sister struggle on screen, with sobriety, with trust, with self-worth, was like watching a bruise develop in slow motion. She wanted to protect her, desperately. But Kim was not easily protected, especially not when the world was watching. I never knew when I was supposed to be Kyle the housewife or Kyle the sister, she said. And when Kim would look at me across a dinner table full of other castmates, I could tell she didn't always know who I was either. Tears behind the taglines. There's a scene etched into every RHOBH fan's mind. That infamous limo ride, the accusation, the heartbreak, the raw, shattering sobs. That wasn't reality TV. That was reality. And Kyle has never forgotten how cold the air was in that moment, or how final Kim's words felt, as if they weren't just talking about the night, but about their whole lives. Watching that scene back, Kyle has admitted, "I felt like I had lost her again. And we'd lost each other so many times before." What most viewers forget is that behind the glitz of reality TV are real relationships, often frayed and fragile. For Kyle, every filming day with Kim felt like walking a tightrope in stilettos. One misstep, one word too honest or not honest enough, and everything could come crashing down. But even in their worst fights, there was something underneath, something ancient, something unbreakable. Love. A sister's balancing act. Kyle knows she was often painted as the responsible one, the polished, measured Richard's sister with the thriving family and the successful acting career, but that perception weighed heavily on her. Because being the strong one meant carrying not only her own pain, but often Kim's too. "People think I didn't cry," she once told a producer off camera. "But I cried in the shower. I cried when the cameras were off. I cried for her, for us." And yet, despite the tears, the tension, and the televised trauma, Kyle never wanted to film without Kim. Because as hard as it was to film with her, it was harder to do it without her. "She was my anchor in this crazy world," Kyle reflected. "No one else got it. The fame, the pressure, the weirdness of our childhood. Only Kim did. Healing in pieces." In recent years, Kyle has spoken of growth, about therapy, about learning how to set boundaries, about finding space to forgive. Not just Kim, but herself. Time off camera has given them room to breathe and to remember who they are without an audience. And yet, when whispers of Kim returning to RHOBH began to swirl again, Kyle felt the familiar cocktail of excitement and dread. Part of her lit up, that part that missed their banter, their inside jokes, the way Kim could cut through her Hollywood gloss with a single deadpan remark. But another part of her tensed, worried that the past could too easily be replayed. That old wounds might masquerade as storylines. "I want to believe we can film together again and be okay," Kyle told a close friend. "But I'm scared. Scared we'll fall back into old roles. Scared we'll say things we can't take back." Still, hope remains. The eternal role, sister. If Kyle Richards has learned anything from over a decade on reality TV, it's that people don't get to see everything. They see the edits, they see the fights, but they don't see the hours between scenes, when she and Kim would sit on a couch in pajamas, sharing chips and laughing at their own absurdity. They don't see the text messages at 2 a.m. that simply say, "Are you okay?" They don't see the hugs that lasted too long or the glances that held whole conversations. They don't see love in all its messy forms. So how does Kyle really feel about filming RHOBH with Kim? She feels everything. She feels proud. She feels scared. She feels nostalgic. She feels annoyed. She feels protective. She feels exhausted. She feels hopeful. She feels heartbroken. And above all, she feels love. Because Kim isn't just a castmate, she's her sister. And some roles, no matter how many times the scene changes, are forever.